One of the things that you used to say to me a lot when we'd get together was, I feel like things are moving in the right direction, but it just feels like a lot is going on. And I know that hasn't changed, but I also feel that sense. And one of the reasons you don't say it as often anymore is because the implication was there's a lot going on and you didn't really feel like you had your arms around it.
Yes.
And this is not unusual for an executive in your position. Well, it's frankly not unusual for a first tier manager or even the people doing the work, right? There's a lot going on and we're struggling to have our hands around it. And so there's a couple of thoughts or principles that I want to share with you and talk about briefly. I believe that as a leader, because there's a difference between delegation and abdication of our responsibilities. So as a leader, if I don't know what's going on, am I leading?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not talking about micromanagement, not effectively. No, it's happening. It's happening, right?
Yeah.
And if I don't know what's going on, I'm not leading. If we can agree to that, I'm not leading. And by leading, I think our basic responsibility as leaders is to have enough information to think, to feel, to decide. This is good. This is going in the right direction. I don't think this is going in the right direction. I need to intervene. And the third thing is whether having either of these gives us the ability to lead up.
Yeah.
And so when I think about you and any leader in your situation, there's a lot going on, but I don't necessarily feel like I have my arms around it to get you to a point where you have enough information to do those three things. And it's not enough to be like, oh, I feel like this is going well. It's not enough to feel like, oh, I need to help course correct. You also have to have enough information to be able to go to Al and have him have clarity.
Yeah.
Meaning if he doesn't know what's going on, he's not leading either.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. As you were saying that, I was thinking in each of those cases, there's a bidirectional aspect to it. So as I think about this, can I be an effective leader if I don't know what's going on? I would say undoubtedly, as you said, the answer is no. Now, can I be providing value? Presumably I could be. If the leader is providing great vision and awareness and perspective downward, the teams may be acting on that and using it. But if the feedback's not heading in the other direction, you're leaving half of the conversation out. And I'm still sticking with what you said, which is no, you can't be an effective leader. You're halfway there. You're potentially halfway there, but you certainly are not going to be what we would want. And so it has to be flowing both ways. And that I would say every path has that, right? We want to measure the effectiveness of the flow of information in both directions. And as I think about this, I see a number of connections that are lacking on one or both paths. One might be reasonably effective and we get some value from it, great direction. Or I guess the flip side is if I knew what was going on, then maybe that would provide some value. But if I'm not giving that vision and direction back, it's missing.
You have to be an active leader, but in order to be an active leader, you have to have information.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing about this, creating that echo chamber, making sure that message is heard again and again in different ways until you hear it coming from the people doing the work back at you, creating that echo chamber. But here's the other very interesting thing. That is teamwork, that feedback loop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't know what's going on, you're not leading, you can't lead.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we create then that feedback loop, you're visioning, you have enough information to decide it's going well, I need to intervene, and enough information to lead up. Now you're creating the team of teams.